Hello, everybody. So, just what the heck is Bootstrap? Well, if you ever have wondered or if you've ever done a search, what is Bootstrap? You're going to come up with Bootstrap is open source HTML, CSS, JavaScript framework that allows you to create suitable websites for devices of different sizes. So, yeah, it's a framework used to develop front end web based applications, but it's also called a front end library. So I want to briefly take you through that and how come it's so confusing, or can be. All right, so you hear people throwing around front end, back end all the time. You hear it everywhere, and you might not really be sure of the meaning. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know what that means. The back end is behind the front end. Okay, so basically, we can say that the front end is what users will see on a web page. It's the visible side of the web page, and HTML, CSS, JavaScript languages, these are used for the front end. Okay, so the back end is the workings behind the scenes of this website. It's the server part of the job and the names that are given to the job developing the base software. So we use languages such as PHP, Java, Node.js, C Sharp. These are all used in the back end. So Bootstrap will occupy a very important place in the front end because Bootstrap is a group of code that was written to be reusable so that you can just drop it into your site and it'll make designing the website a whole lot easier for you. Since it is basically a framework supported with ready-made HTML and ready-made CSS codes and JavaScript, we can prepare our projects a whole lot faster. So Bootstrap includes form elements, labels, tables, warning and information text, navigation bar, paging modules, and drop-down menus, buttons with different features, and I could go on. So obviously, this is going to make creating responsive web pages a whole lot easier. You know what that means, right? I mean, responsive pages will conform to whatever device you're on. Tablets, phones, and their variety of sizes, as well as laptops and computer screens. So it's a more agile approach that responds to the size of the screen. Have you noticed? I don't know about you, but it seems that more people spend more time on mobile stuff, so it certainly makes sense to design with mobile as a priority. Bring on Bootstrap. Cool. So Bootstrap 4 is the newest version. Also, browser compatibility in Bootstrap is also very high. Bootstrap 4 is supported in most popular browsers like Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Internet Explorer 10. So why don't we just go ahead and go to the Bootstrap site and have a look what we're saying, and then we'll briefly take a look at the ready-made code. So what I do is I'll go to getbootstrap.com. And we're going to use the latest version of Bootstrap 4. So you might as well get it here if you haven't already. Now, there are, of course, many innovations here. I'm going to just mention all of them. So here I'll select the documentation and look inside the component section. So let's take a look at forms. So here's an example of a ready-made form. So these codes are available to us when we include Bootstrap in our project. And let's have a look at the buttons. This code is all here as well. For example, the BTN or button class is used for these buttons, and we'll also be able to use these as properties of the buttons when we use the button class. And what do we see here? We can use many differently designed elements in different colors. I hope it's stimulating your imagination, because this is also going to give us a lot of speed. Now, I know you're kind of scratching your head a little bit and saying, there are so many sites with similar styles. And yeah, it's because people use ready-made or they fondly call them cookie cutter code. But that doesn't mean that you have to use everything that comes along with Bootstrap in the same way. Of course, you can change colors, writing styles, or whatever the content is that you want to change. But I want to show you that if we look at Expo, yeah, we can see many sites are using it and they are not unique. So put that in the back of your brain and we'll wrap it up here. We answered the question, what is Bootstrap? So in our next lesson, we're going to go ahead and download Bootstrap to include it in our project. See you then.